Okay, so we're diving deep today into something called doom spending.
Doom spending.
Yeah, have you heard of this?
I have heard of this, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like this thing that people have been talking about a lot lately,
Right.
especially with all this craziness, with the trade wars and tariffs and everything.
Yeah.
It's basically like this sudden urge to buy like a year's worth of toilet paper,
Mm,
or finally replace that old washing machine that you've been meaning to replace but haven't gotten around to,
right.
just because you feel like the future is a bit wobbly.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And it turns out that a lot of people are doing this.
Oh, really?
There's this recent creditcards.com report that said that nearly 1 in 5 adults admit to doing it.
Wow. That's a lot of people.
Yeah, so today we're going to unpack all of that.
Okay.
Like, why are people doing this? And is it even a good idea?
Right.
Because, sometimes when things look gloomy, it feels like you need to do something, right?
It does feel that way.
So we're going to explore all of that and hopefully equip you with some smarter strategies for dealing with all this uncertainty.
Well, I'm excited to dive into this.
Yeah, me too. So let's start with the psychology behind this whole doom spending thing.
Okay, sure. So, it's fascinating how our brains react to uncertainty.
Yeah.
When we feel like things are spiraling out of control, our natural instinct is to try to regain some sense of power.
To take back control.
Exactly. And doom spending can kind of feel like that. It's like taking action, preparing for the worst, stocking up.
Right. It's like, okay, if everything's going to go bad, at least I have, 12 gallons of mayonnaise.
Exactly. Or a brand new refrigerator to store it all in.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, this isn't just some theoretical idea.
No.
The creditcards.com report found that 28% of Americans have already made like huge purchases.
Huge purchases, like what?
Like appliances or home improvements.
Wow.
And almost a quarter are stockpiling things like food and medicine.
So people are really doing this.
They are. It's like a collective nesting instinct kicking in.
That's an interesting way to put it.
But the question is it actually the best way to prepare for tough times?
That's the million-dollar question.
It is.
And unfortunately, the answer is usually no. You see, while doom spending is understandable, it can actually lead to more financial stress down the line.
In the long run.
Yeah, in the long run. The report also found that 34% of credit card borrowers are taking on more debt this year.
So they're actually digging themselves into a deeper hole.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Instead of creating a sense of security, doom spending often just replaces one type of anxiety with another.
Yeah, that makes sense. So it's like putting out a fire with gasoline.
Exactly. You're just making the problem worse.
So how do we break free from this cycle of fear-driven spending, especially when, every time you turn on the news, it's all doom and gloom about tariffs and trade wars?
Well, the key is to shift our focus.
Shift our focus.
Yeah, from what we can't control, like global markets or government policies, to what we can control, our own financial behavior.
Our own choices.
Exactly. And there's this guy, Matt Schultz. He's the chief credit analyst at LendingTree.
Okay.
And he offers some really good advice.
What's his advice?
He says we should focus on 2 things.
Okay. I'm listening.
Paying down high-interest debt.
Number 1.
And building a strong emergency fund.
Okay, so those seem like simple steps.
They are simple steps.
But I imagine they could have a huge impact on our overall, financial well-being.
Oh, absolutely. Think of it this way. Having a solid financial foundation, free from high-interest debt, and with a healthy emergency fund provides a buffer against any economic storm.
It's like building a strong house before the hurricane hits.
Exactly. It empowers you to weather the ups and downs without resorting to those panic-driven decisions.
So basically what we're saying is instead of stocking up on canned goods,
Right.
maybe we should be focusing on building up our financial foundations.
Exactly. And for everyone listening out there, as you navigate these uncertain times, remember that knowledge and thoughtful planning are your greatest assets.
Knowledge is power.
It really is. And ask yourself this. Are your spending habits driven by a rational plan or by a fear of what might happen?
That's a good question to ask.
It is. By focusing on what you can control, you can create genuine financial security and peace of mind regardless of what the future holds.
That's a great takeaway, I think, for all of us.
I think so, too.
Well, this has been a fascinating deep dive into doom spending.
It has been.
And I hope everyone listening learned something valuable today.
Me too. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thanks for being here.
It was my pleasure.
And for all of you listening out there, stay informed, stay rational, and stay in control of your finances.
That's great advice.
Until next time.
See you then.
Bye.